What's going on, Imperials? It's Emperor Cubone here. In the very first Pokemon games, Red and Blue, the game's climax builds up to you taking on the Elite Four. And once you've beaten them, you have one final challenge, defeating the champion. It's only then that you discover that your rival, who's been one step ahead of you the whole game, has just become the champion himself. This ensues in a battle for the ages and is worthy of the ending of the game. But wait, he just became champion? Oak gives the impression that he rushed right over as soon as he heard, so he could have only been champion for a few hours at most. But seeing as how close Pallet Town is to Indigo Plateau, I'd say it was even less time than that. So your rival had to defeat the previous champion that same day, but who could it have been? Who woke up that day as the champion of Kanto? Immediate thoughts jump to Professor Oak, in the same vein as Kukui in Sun and Moon. However, as we've just discussed, Oak disqualifies himself by saying that he had to run there when he heard about it instead of being there himself. Plus, he's the one that has to record the new champions. I know that champions do this themselves in later games, but Oak comes to congratulate you in Gold and Silver as well, so it seems like a pretty steady outside gig. But wait, Gold and Silver! Lance was the champion! Maybe he was champion of Kanto too before he was beaten. This one seems even less likely. While it's true that we don't know exactly how they choose the Elite Four, and we see examples of upward mobility in gym leaders becoming Elite Four members and becoming champions, we never see anyone get demoted. It doesn't strike me as an overly forgiving system. How would that work anyway? Would they lose as champion and then be able to battle the Elite Four, and the first one of those to lose is out? Would they then be able to go topple a gym leader? I think we can assume that this is not the case. So then, who could it be? Well, in many cases, champions are active citizens in their region, looking into disturbances and helping random people, like the player. This is the most prominently displayed in Steven, Cynthia, and Lance when he's the champion. So then what about someone like the Pokemon Fan Club president? He basically gives you a free bike. While he's certainly enthused, he seems a little too much of a bumbling fool to be considered a competent battler, let alone champion. Well then, the Silphco president. A captain of industry would certainly be someone of enough influence in the region. It's because of his company that we can identify ghosts with the Silphscope. They're also the ones that developed the Master Ball, making great strides in their research. So, could he be the champion? Simply put, unless this guy was practicing some serious neutral Jin, there's no way that he would have let his entire building be overrun by Team Rocket if he really were the champion. Let's see, running out of people here. What about the SSN captain? He's called the Cutmaster after all. Well, his job of traveling around the world would make it hard to consistently serve in his role as champion. Plus, anyone who gets that seasick and chooses to be a boat captain has seriously questionable decision-making skills. What about the Safari Zone Warden? Again, he seems a little goofy with the whole golden teeth shenanigans, and it seems like it'd be difficult to maintain control over both, since Fuchsia City is a bit of a trek to Victory Road. Oh, I know, Bill! He's the one that made all the PCs, and even invented a teleporting machine. Well, Bill himself tells us that he wants to understand the why of Pokemon more than he wants to use them to win. And while that alone certainly does not disqualify him from being champion, he tells us his desire is to be a Pokemon researcher, which means his aspirations are more in line with the professors than the gym leaders. Plus, his cottage is way on the other side of the region, and I do not see him giving up that prime real estate. What about Mr. Pokemon? He's almost like a greatest hits of all these guys. He's caring towards Pokemon, he's a well-respected researcher, and he's good friends with Professor Oak. But wait a minute, he's from Johto. He can't be the Kanto champion. Could he? Was Lance from Johto? What even makes them wear a different region if they share a champion? Maybe that should be a theory all by itself. So then, who could it be? We said before that champions are active and influential citizens in their region, and for the Kanto region, this description might fit best with Mr. Fuji. He cares deeply about Pokemon, and went to personally deal with Team Rocket when they invaded Pokemon Tower. So, could he have been the champion? He certainly fits the benevolent side of that role, and loves Pokemon very much, to the point of turning his own house into a daycare of sorts for wounded Pokemon. That sounds like what someone might be able to do if they were provided some other accommodations for a while from their day job. Although we can't be sure, if we're going to entertain the notion that the champion was someone that we've met in Red and Blue, to me, Mr. Fuji exhibits the behaviors most consistent with being the region's champion. But it may simply be that the champion was someone that we never met during our playthrough of the game. But one can't help but speculate about that undeniably powerful trainer. Even if we never learn the original champion's true identity, we can rest easy knowing that he's at least immortalized somewhere in the Kanto Hall of Fame. So, who do you think was the original champion of Kanto? Were there potential candidates that I failed to consider? Let me know down in the comments. Also be sure to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe so that you too can become an Imperial today. And we'll see you around next time!